Hi, I'm Nakul Bhutta,
Hi, I'm Shitish Purohit.
and you're watching the Find Your Ultra podcast.
Let's go back right at the beginning of Capital Trails. How did you guys form the group? What was the felt need? कि क्या बदलने वाले हैं हम?
This idea of trying something different, be it trail or the FKT or something,
A race.
or figuring out self-sufficiency, or figuring out, I think that exploratory aspect of personality will bring out other creative means. I think that is the fundamental of what Capital Trails represents.
So Capital Trails races are also different from the regular races. Like I heard something along the lines of a treasure hunt. What are those things?
It's the lowest impact, greenest
Yeah.
race that you can find not only in India but anywhere in the world.
Coming to the treasure hunt format, I think what came out of it was probably the most beautiful outdoors moment that I have witnessed. Rather, I would say second most beautiful. The most beautiful happened on 5th of April.
Yeah.
But
FKD sounds wonderful. You recently did a 95 kilometer, the loop that you talked about, right? How was that? Talk to us about that.
so before Nakul starts, that's what happened on 5th of April. All right, Nakul. Over to you.
So yeah, lovely experience and really brought out the true essence of this word community. We use this word lightly, and I think everyone experienced the same amount of joy, or maybe probably more amount of joy than I did.
Tell
Yes.
us when is it happening?
Short loop, long loop, hike. That's our category. We meet once a month. Sometimes it becomes more. If this podcast is going before 22nd of June, grab a flight or take a train and come to Delhi, because this is by far going to be the most fun experience I can guarantee.
Welcome back to the Find Your Ultra podcast. This episode is with my friends Shitish Purohit and Nakul Bhutta. They're the co-founders of Capital Trails, which is one of the largest trail running groups in India. I've done separate episodes with both of them, so I've covered their personal journeys in detail. This episode, I wanted to cover Capital Trails. I wanted to actually speak to them about all the stuff that they've been up to over the last year and a half. In fact, like more than that, I think 3-4 years now. And some of the stuff that they're doing, I haven't seen any other trail running club or anybody else do in India or overseas. Like they claim that some of their races and some of the things, events that they organize are zero carbon footprint. It's one of the greenest, and they're doing really interesting stuff in racing as well. Like the new format they're introducing. I think the race is on 22nd June, which is why we wanted to release this episode really quickly. So 22nd June is the treasure hunt race in Delhi. If you're around, check it out. Check out the episode, and hear it from them. Why you must really not miss this one. So without further ado, here's Shitish Purohit, Nakul Bhutta, and me in the Find Your Ultra podcast, episode 91. Indulge away. Welcome, guys. Welcome back to the Find Your Ultra podcast.
Thanks, Vipin.
Thanks, Vipin.
So I think
be back.
both of you have been on the podcast earlier, right? And we've covered your personal journeys in great detail, and lovely episodes, by the way. I think, Nakul, your episode is still on my audio. I think it's still number 3 or number 4
Oh, cool.
out of
Nice.
the 90 odd episodes we've done.
Oh, great.
It's brilliant, yeah. And we received great appreciation for your episode as well. So, conversation on trail running was enjoyed by people who actually like trail running. Great. In this episode, I wanted to talk more about Capital Trails. The reason is I feel it's a great initiative. Living in a city like Delhi, which people feel is polluted and is just roads and concrete jungle, and we don't have any green spaces to run in. You guys are proving that wrong, and you are running an initiative which sadly not as many people as they should know about it, right? So that's what we are here to change. Tell more people about it. Let's go back right at the beginning of Capital Trails. How did you guys form the group? What was the felt need? कि क्या बदलने वाले हैं हम?
I think what got us together to form this group was a shared passion for the trails. I'll go a bit earlier than even when the group was formed. I think 2018 was a time when, I was at my peak of Strava stalking people. And that's where I met a lot of runners, and Nakul being one of them. And 2018 was a time when the two of us ran Sanjay Van for the first time. And that was a time when he showed me around all the, the Lalkot trails and all the jungle secret trails of Sanjay Van and all that. And that kind of started something inside of me, right? Then I started going out and exploring trails on by myself and all. And during that time, we used to keep meeting on trails and we used to keep running together. And one fine run, this was sometime in, I think, July 2019 or something, or maybe it was August 2019. I can't remember the date, but somewhere around that time, when we decided to do a long run and connect two distinct forests of Delhi, which is Aravali Biodiversity Park in Vasant Kunj to Aravali Biodiversity Gurgaon. So it was like a 15-kilometer one way. So we said, okay, weekend hai, we'll make it a long run and we'll
Can it happen?
do it.
We didn't know if it
Yeah,
can
first of all, can it also happen, right? Is there a
In
clean
terms
trail?
of whether they are connected, like
Yeah,
the forests
is there
are
a
close
trail
enough.
route?
Okay.
Yes.
Is it a road route or is it a trail route?
Fair enough.
Yeah. So that's where we started talking on the run, and we started talking about, how there aren't enough people with a passion for trail running and for exploring the way we connected with the trails. And it just so happened that the night before I had designed a very rudimentary logo, green and black, called Capital Trails. And while we were talking, we figured that, okay, there's so much in common, that we want to do in terms of showing people the trails, taking people outdoors. And yeah, the rest is history. That's where Capital Trails as an idea was born. This was, I think it was September. I'm probably getting the dates wrong, but September. Then the next few months we spoke about this. We tried to get some people, and reached out in our own running networks. And I think December 2019 we did another run, which was from Kant Enclave, Asola Bhatti,
Yes.
all the way to Damdama Lake. Right, so it was a 35-kilometer one way. And again, the idea was the same, to figure out if at all a route is possible. And yeah, it was possible, and that gave us the whole idea, that gave us the push that, okay, you know what, there are so many such forests, so many such connections, so many trails, so many outdoor experiences that are possible. Let's start getting more people introduced to that. So December 2019, soon after that, or maybe it was January 2020, we had our first, within air quotes, group run with just 4 people. Did that for a few months, 4 people, 5 people. We started reaching out in our network, started getting people, hey, you know what, we are doing this, why don't you join us? And that's how the club started, and that's how the club started growing. Yeah.
Lovely. I mean, I'm trying to imagine 2 guys who don't know about these trails and love, they sort of like trails. Usually, if you're a lover of trails, you just think about your next trip to the mountains. That's when you're going to get trails. यहाँ पे दिमाग में आ रहा है कि आसपास क्या है उसी को explore. That's a very exploratory sort of a mind, and wonderful. So you guys did that, and then you got some people together, and you found out that there are actually more green spaces that can be explored than people think, right?
Yeah, so that's how it was. I think Nakul obviously had much more experience with trails. For me, it was a newer experience. But at least what I remember, what it started in me was just the urge to explore, that something could lie behind that proverbial bush. So if you just go, normally what happens is people take a standard path and don't really bother about what is to the left or to the right. And so what it kind of sparked in me was that, अच्छा ठीक है यार वहाँ पे पेड़ दिख रहा है, तो let me just go and see what lies beyond that tree. And I mean, the kind of places we have discovered just with that kind of a mindset, and it's been magical, I would say.
Like you watch movies talking about adventure in your backyard. And that's really what Capital Trails is.
Yeah.
For the first 2 years, literally our group runs were also our way to find new trails. So when you initially came for Capital Trails runs, you were literally bushwhacking and helping us also research. So they were also our research team, as much as they were coming out for trails. And truly, it is amazing what a forest does. A forest in Delhi, even though it's so arid and not so dense like a rainforest, but even then, just going off trail makes you feel lost. And when you're lost and you're a little susceptible, you get that feeling of adventure. A little bit of risk comes in with that. And you'd be amazed, like just going off trail, even Kshitij and I, even today, after 6+ years of exploring Delhi trails, we get lost. So we need GPX files and all. So you do get that sense of adventure if you just explore. So that sense of exploration and adventure is what fueled our passion to connect the trails of Delhi, or to build a community who may also want to explore like us. That's really the foundation of Capital Trails.
That's lovely.
It's not a social foundation like other clubs. It's more like a exploratory, celebratory foundation rather than a social foundation.
Yeah. And you said your research team, like those initial guys, who do you want to give them a shout out? Who were they?
Well, they were, initially there used to be Bijendra. Bijendra is a veteran in the, Semwal. He's a veteran in the Delhi running community. There used to be Jubi. She's also an experienced runner. And there was a gentleman called Hashmat. who was known to Nakul, and he used to come for some early runs. There were many people who used to come and support us,
And it's all community powered. I'll just go back to meeting in Sanjayvan. Someone showed me the trails of Sanjayvan at some point. Aman showed me the trails of
Aman
Yadav.
Yadav.
Aman
Yadav,
Yadav,
yeah, yeah.
DRG guy.
Yes,
Yeah.
he showed me the trails of Sanjayvan. Hashmat sir has been running in Jahapana for 30 years. So he showed me Jahapana. Someone else, Professor Gill, showed me the Siri Fort forest that I run today. So, but there was no one connecting the dots. And that's why we decided we wanted to connect not only the forest, but also the people. And so Capital Trails brought in all these veterans who'd been running in their local forests. And even today, these trails are taken every day by local villagers of that area. But the villagers are not crossing into, let's say, another forest area because that's not their morning walk or exploration. So our mission was to get that community together, to get people, runners, to come see different spaces. And it's been really, really an amazing journey to get people on, and we've diversified a lot. Our community's grown a lot. And I think we're still like baby, we're still so much to do.
Yeah, no, absolutely. In terms of the potential, in terms of what is possible and how many people can actually fall in love with trail running, but that can only happen once they come and probably explore, right? Yeah. But this thing about connecting these different forests came about because after you managed to connect two first, right? यहीं
Sort
से
of,
शुरू हुआ
yes.
कि
That's
अच्छा
where
2 कर लिए हैं, अब कितने और कर सकते हैं? शायद और भी हैं क्या? Can we like...
So I think once we did the two, it kind of laid the foundation to, like you said, to see how much more we can do, right? So that's where, and that's pretty much been the foundation of the larger projects that we have done, right? One is the group runs that we do, which is pretty much confined to one pocket or one forest, but the larger projects of the FKT routes and the Trail Connect project, which we have started, but we'll talk about that. So that's where the idea came from, that, if we can connect 2 forests, why can't we connect 3? Why can't we connect 4? Then why can't we
And how many are there
experience?
in the city? And then,
And
quite a few, to the point when we do a group run, we do a new forest area. Okay.
Wow.
We come back to a forest area after 18 or 24 months.
Oof.
That's the amazing part of Delhi NCR, that we literally circle back to a spot 18 to 24 months after. So that's the sort of and each forest area is diverse and has its own character.
Yeah.
It's not just they're all the same.
Yeah.
We have dense forests, we have arid forests, we have desert trails. It's a full
Desert
mix.
trails in Delhi?
Yeah. So, for example, the Aravali, Gurgaon side, some of them are very dirt track sort of high exposure, sandy trails. And then some place you have full tree cover. So you have a full mix in between also.
Okay.
We have lakes. You have different flowery trees, and they have springtime and fall, and colors are changing, and all these things are happening.
So much that we have our
wildlife. We have leopards, we have hyenas, we have civets, and all types of 200 plus species of birds, and there's so much wildlife in Delhi NCR.
We have our own lake district in NCR.
Yeah.
So there are
and those are gorgeous lakes, like
absolutely
clean water,
absolutely.
like blue and green, lovely lakes.
Yeah, some of these, like, especially if you go towards Mangar and if you look at Panikot, even the ones in Asola, right? They call the Bhatti lakes because there are some 7 or 8 giant lakes over there, and then you go all the way to Panikot. It's like you're out of this world, you're on a different planet or something. It's
Absolutely.
like that. Yeah.
That's like a side of Delhi not everybody knows about. Like those adventure enthusiasts like cyclists and runners have probably known about, but somebody who's not into this, उनको पता भी नहीं दिल्ली में ऐसा कुछ है, ऐसा नजारा भी है.
Yeah, but unfortunately what has happened is that if you go there on a Sunday, you'll see, like, sometimes I've gone there and I've seen hundreds of bikes over there,
But that's an India problem. That's not like,
I guess,
that's everywhere pretty much. Unknown spots जो होते थे, undiscovered,
right.
When the moment they get discovered, they're like crowded.
So,
like mad.
So Panikot, that's any accessible area will face that kind of an issue, but that's okay.
Lovely. Just to contrast the road running versus trail running a little bit, Nakul, I wanted to know from you, before you started exploring Delhi, the trails of Delhi, you were a sub-3 marathon runner before that, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So being a sub-3 marathon runner means you're pretty fast on the road, and you like the flat sort of feeling, and you're just one foot in front of the other, and you're like high cadence, and you're like cruising. You love that feeling. a lot of fast runners don't go on trails because their Strava timings will look slower. So then, and there's a higher risk of injury and whatnot. So, wasn't it tough for you to give that side of running up, which means look a little slower on Strava and explore this instead of mastering the game and maybe becoming 245, 240, 235?
Yeah. Well, I started trail running before the sub 3.
Okay.
I was running on trails. I always enjoyed the outdoors. Even when I was living in Seattle, we were hiking a lot. We were not running so much. I wish I knew I was in the mecca of trail running then, because I was not doing trail running then. I was doing mostly road running there. But coming back, but I was always inclined for the outdoors. So I was doing some trail running. The Hell Race Solang series had started. So I went for the first edition. And that was really the... and then the Bhatti races were happening by Kavita, Globe Racers.
Oh, yeah.
So that was happening. So there was some action happening in trail, which I was doing. But the sub 3 was so there's performance and there's exploration outdoors, right? And at that point, sub 3 was good enough because never imagined getting to that level. We just never imagined that. Some friend told me 5 years before that he ran a sub 3. I was like, this is not possible. How is this even possible? But slowly, 10 minutes at a time, you get there, and but beyond that, natural instinct is always to go outside. I mean, that's what I think we share is, if you give us the option between road and trail, we'll take trail any day, right? That's a very clear option, right? So I think you have to be little inclined to the outdoors. And I think those who are road running, I'm going to be a little biased and call them Nehru Park runners, right? That if they venture out on the trails and genuinely come with an open mind, I think it's hard to go back to that road running performance-based thing, because right now we have a book club also, and we're not at Capital Trails, but generally, and we talk running book. So there's a book we're talking about ethics of running. That book is about, and there they're talking about goals and happiness, and eventually you realize what gives happiness. And one of the things is exploration outdoors, all of this, right? So I feel like at some point you'll hit your sub 3 and you'll hit your numbers, but long term, it's not going to give you that fulfillment.
Because it's also a never-ending game at some point, right?
Exactly.
Unless you become the best in the world, it's a never-ending game, right?
Right. Even the best in the world are trying to improve, right?
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
But they get an Olympic medal for it, so that is some reward. We are not getting that.
Yeah.
So I think if road runners come in with the open mind, I think it's hard to go back from trail running if you come to the and with regards to injuries and all, these are same myths as running is bad for your knees. There is no injury risk in trail running, barring the fall risk and all. And if you start like with running, you will start very slow. And then over time, you build the confidence to run faster and faster. Same thing with trail running. When you go on a trail, you'll maybe go on a non-technical dirt track and you get confidence of running on dirt, gravel. And then you get, one time you'll go maybe on a more rocky path and you'll be very slow. And then you'll gain confidence and get that. And over long term, actually, trail running is beneficial because multiple muscles and ligaments.
Engaged.
Yeah. So it's actually safer from an injury perspective. It's building you more muscle over time because you're climbing and coming down and engaging. So actually, from an injury perspective or that perspective, it's actually safer long term. So that's a different aspect of trail running. It has a sort of a myth that I invited so many road runners and they're like, ankle injury ho jayegi, or this will happen or that will happen. So they have a lot of these fears.
It's like a big one, by the way. In our podcast as well, I had discussed this with you. Okay, ankle twist ko kaise rokenge? Right. Yeah.
But it's amazing. Like if you come on a trail run, your ankle will flex to the point where you're like, okay, I'm gotten injured now. But it doesn't even hurt. Your ankle actually has good flexion. So, but if you allow it to grow, right? If you become stiffer and stiffer, it's obviously at some point when you go on trail, you'll get injured.
Yeah.
But if you actually keep opening up your ankle and keep doing some basic physio, you will be able to be amazing on trails.
And it's crazy how much of this is actually mental as well. If you're seeking stepping on a stone and twisting your ankle, you will. Isi trail run mein ho jayega kahin na kahin.
And you see that at our group runs also, people come and by the 5th or the 10th group run, they're running with a lot of confidence. So you see that change in that person coming in. It's very satisfying to see.
Yeah, I mean, it's great to hear all these stories when you started. Because when he was mentioning that the first 35K you did you guys did connecting those two forests, and I remembered a post. Remember seeing a post by you guys. So I
Yeah,
remember
so
that post.
maybe we backtrack and tell. So when we started connecting these forest areas, eventually that project that was a 2+3 year project almost. Yeah. Which culminated where we created two big loops.
Mm.
One loop is called the Nilgai City Trail. It is roughly 35 kilometers and connects most of the forest within the southern part of Delhi, or you can call it South Delhi. It connects all of the city forests. Now, city forests are forests which have a walled boundary, but inside they're quite foresty.
Okay.
So you don't have interconnectedness, you have some road connectedness, but it's still a forest area inside,
Got it.
So you can call it an enclosed forest, right? So we've connected through small road patches this 35-kilometer loop, out of which about 23, 24 is
I think
about
20 plus is trail. It is,
Yeah.
and some nice trails also.
really
Yeah.
good trails.
Yeah.
You're getting into leopard territory as part of that also. So you go from the leopard territory and coming back into the Saket malls and then coming back to forest.
Yeah.
So you get the full experience and the energy of the city,
Mm.
in that 35-kilometer loop. And we have even supported people. A lot of our members wanted to run that. So over the years, we've supported them to do their own projects. And then through that project is the 90-kilometer one, which you can talk about.
Yeah, that's called the Nilgai Forest Trail. So yeah, it connects all the key forests of Delhi, Faridabad, and Gurgaon, right? So that's like, actually that project was a lot of fun. And through these group runs where, like Nakul said, we were using our members as researchers, right? So we figured out all these routes. We figured out these routes in segments, and then we would go back to the to some app. I use this app called Footpath, amazing app, where you can draw routes, you can connect different routes and all that. And then we were we were able to draw a very neat 90-kilometer loop which starts and ends at Sanjayvan, right? So it covers the forests of Sanjayvan, Maidangadi, Tilpat Valley, Asola Bhatti. Then it goes towards Mangar. Then from there it goes to Pani Kohot, Damdama, and then it turns back towards the Kadarpur trails, and then it takes the Gurgaon, the Eco Restoration Trail in Gurgaon, Aravali Biodiversity Gurgaon, then JNU and all that, and then it's like
95 kilometers, out of which 70 plus is trails.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I mean, tell
Yeah.
me which city, certainly not in India, but very few cities in the world have 20 million people population cities.
Yeah.
I'm not talking 2-3 million. This sort of metropolitan, large population density, we're so blessed in this city to have something like this. And you'd be feeling like you're in the wild. So that adventure in your backyard really sets tone here, And in addition to that, what has happened through these experiences, because we have been mapping and learning, how do you connect? Like we call him the trail doctor at Capital Trails. So he's always like figuring out new routes. Sometimes I'm yelling at him, "Fasa diya jungle mein, kahan pe pata nahi," in the middle of the run. But he's been exploring a lot. And that has also educated us, which we impart through Capital Trails. So now every member who's been regular knows how to use GPX files, right? And then eventually we do some webinars where we'll teach how to create GPX files. So that educative part and that awareness and that empowerment of individuals to become explorers is happening, right? And that's just the next level. We just, for the first time, this just happened a week back. Kshitish had gone to McLeodganj and he created a trail loop there using the same skills he gained from Capital Trails, right? And one of our members, I recently attempted that because I was in that area, and one of our Capital Trails members was there and he just did it all by himself, knowing all those safety protocols, because at Capital Trails, we make sure you have 2 liters of water, hydration pack, trail running shoes, first aid kit. So we educate people and they're implementing that, and now it's gone beyond Delhi NCR trails. Now they're going to the Himalayas and doing mini projects, on their own. This is truly the impact of building a community. It's not about showing off how many hundreds of people are coming or this is happening. Community is empowering individuals and letting them explore, and then they become catalysts for others.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. I mean, you've partly answered some parts of my next question, which was actually going to be about trails posing their own unique challenges, right? And you mentioned leopard, right? And so wildlife is one. What are the other unique challenges that are unique to trails And also, how do people safely navigate them, and how do you guys help people?
Trails in Delhi or in general?
In general, I would say, not just in Delhi.
I think the biggest challenge I would say generally is just this whole you're on your own, right? So this whole the self sufficiency angle is something which could be a challenge as well as a boon, right? So you're alone, you and the nature together, right? So having that little relationship between the two. Then obviously, yeah, when there's no light, there's no infrastructure, there's no support, so you always feel lost in a certain sense. I think beyond that, anything can be overcome. So it's pretty much, I would say, it's a mindset thing. Just realizing that you are in a place that's much bigger than you and much stronger than you, and respecting that and moving along. And all these things about carrying your own gear, preparing yourself for all these ankle twists and falls and all that. I think just it's a byproduct of accepting that first. Yes, obviously there are some real challenges, especially around safety, and when you are in a secluded place, you don't know who's lurking behind that bush, right? So obviously those things are there, and honestly, we don't have an answer for that. If someone comes and asks how safe are the trails outside Delhi, I mean, yeah, we don't have an absolute answer to that, but that's unfortunately a part of where we are.
But
right?
risk is part of life.
Yeah.
You sit in a car, there is a risk of someone else hitting you. You go for a run, there is a risk of someone hitting you. Risk is part of life.
But you're saying this risk is no greater than that risk.
I mean, it's hard to put it in that way. What you can say is that it's hard to compare, the two. But what you can say is that in all conditions, you want to minimize your risk. So if you buy a car, instead of buying a 0-star crash safety car, you try to buy a 4 to 5 crash star safety car. Similarly, when you go on trails, you try to minimize the risk. Either you run in groups or you get aware of what is the wildlife risk here. You try not to run at night because that's when the forest comes alive. So you try to minimize the risk and take smart decisions so that this happens. And this is very important. And sadly, the Indian outdoor community is not there in this point. With Instagram and social media pushing outdoors, which is nice, and hiking companies also pushing outdoors, right? Unfortunately, the preparedness of individuals as well as companies, there are lots of accidents happening in the mountains also.
Yes.
That preparedness is not priority right now.
Yeah.
So I think we are trying our best because we've not been doing outdoors from our childhood. We've gained skills over the years. And so we're doing the best that we know. There is obviously experts from Knowles and all these amazing institutes who know so much more of the outdoors. We are limited. We try to educate ourselves over time. But so the idea is to mitigate the risk. You can't eliminate it, but you mitigate it. And you
Okay,
take
so
smart
while you want to
decisions.
encourage people, you wouldn't even say just show up in the jungle and go for a hike or whatever.
If they come for capital trails, they'll be sent back like that.
Okay.
Like if you don't have the minimum gear, you're not allowed. So simple gate. Or like we send them on the hiking category or some easy category where you carry 500 ml water and you can sort of go.
No, that too, you're in a group. Like you have a safety cover of some kind. Like there are people around. But someone just wanting to stroll in these forests is not a good idea without being trained and having enough
it comes to their own
resources.
risk appetite. Maybe they're unaware, so they take the risk. But you have to know what's out there. Like most of the times I'm going alone, but I know the risks and I'm probably taking some precautions. You tell someone where you're going and do some basic.
No, you're
precautionary
experienced. Like I'm saying, people who are on the edge and getting inspired listening to this, the trails are
It's
beautiful.
actually
They should go
not
join a
only
group.
that, it's more fun going with more people. You
Yeah.
get to share that experience because also in outdoors, you see something and someone else sees something. So that shared experience makes it more enjoyable and more memorable. I see a bird, you see a lake, I see a tree with flowers, you see a different trail going left.
Yeah.
So it adds to the experience.
And you took us on a walk recently to Sanjavan, and I was speaking with Noor later. How about being present? Like when we were on the trail, you were spotting birds, and then suddenly I was spotting different things. Like, isn't this what's called being present? Like you're in the moment, you're noticing things that are just happening right in front of you. So all the things, good things that we talk about in terms of happiness.
We have all that beauty around us. We just need to see it.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah, absolutely.
Over the years, Capital Trails has now diversified, right? We started as a trail running club. very pure, because we're trail runners, we're like, let's get more runners. That's
Mm.
our closest community. And then we got people who were sort of beginner runners, but they wanted more people, their friends to come, make it more inclusive, maybe even family members, kids, parents, whoever. So then only recently, when did we launch the hiking category?
Officially, I think we launched it August, September last year.
So yeah,
It's not even been a year.
relatively new,
Yeah.
no, less than a year. But basically, the first few years were running, and there were two categories. There was a long loop, which is typically in trail running, you don't really go by distance but time. But let's say 16 to 20 kilometers or 3+ hour easy effort. Easy means we stop, we have fun, we take photos, but not too long. We try to keep moving because Delhi trails get hot and there is that heat risk. But we keep moving, but we have fun. When it's not, no one's really panting out of breath. Then, in addition to the long category, there is the short category, which is 8 to 10 kilometers, gets done in about 1.5 hours, stop and go. Recently, we started a hiking category, which is about an hour and a half walk, where these runners, we're moving. So there's not much educative stuff happening, but in the hiking, we're moving slowly, like being in the present. So we have a naturalist or a historian or someone coming. We invite them. And they share their knowledge because we don't have that knowledge. So it becomes a lovely, rather most of the times now I'm on the hiking category because I'm getting to learn so much. I rarely go on the runs now, So that is how we've sort of made it more inclusive, and there's much work to do, on that. But it's nice to see people of all age groups and backgrounds coming now. Some are coming for the walk, some are coming for runs, some are going from the walk to the run. Okay, next time I'll do a short run with these guys.
Yeah.
So it's inspiring people to get fitter. So multiple positives are coming out of it.
Actually, I would say that one of the best things I have seen since we started doing this was, doing this as in added the hike category, was now people are bringing their spouses, their kids to races, runs, hikes, everything, right? So the whole family is out to enjoy a Sunday morning, right? So what's better than that than to be a part of their Sunday morning family time, right? So that's something nice that has come out of this.
Yeah. Wonderful. So I want to come to Capital Trails races that you organize are also somewhat unique in a very different way. We'll talk about those. But before we get there, I want to know some of the mistakes that you guys made, or did you guys make any mistakes in your early days of trail running?
It's like
जब पता भी नहीं थी ये trails, or you were just exploring, did you like make any rookie mistake?
It's like those interview questions, right? What is your biggest weakness? Oh, I think too much. I strive for perfection. No, I'm sure we've made a lot of mistakes. If someone tells us that we have made a mistake, yes, we want to hear more, we want to listen more, and we want to improve. But how I would put it is that more than mistakes, I think we've had a few learnings, and there are certain things which we could have done better, and certain things which we still feel that we should be doing much better. I think one of the things is that I would say, and Nakul can add to this, generally our outreach is a bit something that requires a lot of work, right? So while we are maintaining social media, while we are trying to do whatever we can, but it is still something which is not at the level that would make an impact purely where from the point of view that we can call it a large community that way. We're still a small community. We could have grown much bigger, but we haven't because there have been certain shortcomings in how we have handled. There have been some logistics errors, but then that's fine. That's part of any operations, कभी run late start हुआ, कभी कुछ हुआ उस type का, but nothing major or nothing which we say, oh shit, we made a blunder.
We have,
right?
as of now, 100% safety record.
Yeah.
There's been no incident over 5+ years, touch wood.
Yeah.
I mean, you never know in the outdoors, but so far, so good. And we are forest runners. If you give us an hour, we'll go to the forest rather than sit on Instagram and make a forest reel. So that's our natural instinct for both of us. We've tried to build a team for social media, and that's in the works. But
have you guys had any moments with people that you've taken on the trails, like, oh shit, those sort of moments?
Well, we have had a few people who fell down on the trails and all that, but that's part of the
and getting
experience.
Lost, like some serious getting lost.
Not really. I mean,
someone got lost and hasn't been found for a while, and like mobiles.
Nothing like that.
No.
So the good part.
We make sure people understand GPX files and they have GPX files, and GPX files are very easy to follow.
Yeah.
once you know the basics.
And the
So-
instructions are clear, like have your
Yeah.
mobile charged and everything.
Yeah. So let me maybe step back and share. So I shared the categories, right? Short loop, long loop, hike. That's our category.
Sure.
We meet once a month. Sometimes it becomes more, but generally once a month. We'd like to increase it if we have the time and the bandwidth, and we build leaders. And there is, when someone comes, what does a meet look like? A meet is, there is a fixed time. When you sign up on our website, an instruction is sent with details of start time, this thing, and GPX files. It's all in one email with a Google Maps start point, where to park, what to do. Full instructions are sent. They come there for 5 to 10 minutes. We do a full orientation. Even if you're first time, you know how you have Gaia on your phone. Make sure we check if you have the file on your phone. So we do a round of checks. We do a round of water checks, and then people go. We do
Checks
group-
as in like you speak to every individual.
Yeah, we
and
check everyone's pack.
We do random gear check.
It's a random.
checks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
Like most of the time, we can see if someone is carrying 2 liters of water, but if we have any
Like
suspicion,
apps and everything you check on people's
yeah,
phones.
we do. We make sure everyone has Gaia. We make sure everyone has the GPX file either on their phones or
Have
on
to.
their watches.
Mm.
And
Because as I said, even we get lost if we go off trail.
Mm.
And because you get disoriented with direction, and you
Yeah.
can just take loops. So basic stuff happens,
Okay.
and then we do a group photo, and then we do a count, how many people are there in each group, and then they go into the trail.
Right.
So there's a whole process from sign up on the website to getting out on the trail, and then also coming back out.
Yeah.
Right. So we do a head count. One of us is always there till the end, and so on.
Fabulous.
So that's the run, and then coming to so that's what we do as a community initiative. The meets, we're no longer calling them runs because they're outdoor meets now.
Mm.
Hiking is there, running is there, multiple things are happening.
Okay,
Some
because
history
meets
walks.
sounded initially like it's like you're going to sit in a forest and have chai. Or...
Outdoor meet, yeah,
Okay.
it's sort of like that. So we've stopped calling them runs to not segregate that
Okay.
into the running community only.
Okay.
And everyone is welcome. Whoever wants to explore the outdoors and see the green spaces of Delhi NCR, they come. And then the races, maybe Shatish can talk a little bit about.
So I want to come to races, but before that, just one something that you said about growing. That the challenge has been reaching out to more and more people and growing the community. How will this grow? What does the path look like? Like if you wanted to grow this community and have more and more people do this, paisa hi hai sab kuch, isn't it? Like you need people who will be able to put in more money, get more people, advertise it better, shoot it better, market it better.
not really. I mean, and this is my thoughts on this are that we want it to be a very sustainable model, right? Not, I mean, yes, we can put in a budget and get people marketed that way. That is fine. But then I feel that somewhere, if we do that, somewhere the true essence of the value that we are trying to create, that gets lost. So I would still like to grow the club to grow organically, but with a much bigger value footprint, right? And for which, yes, the correct messaging is very important. And that's something which, whether it's because of lack of time, lack of bandwidth, lack of resources, whatever, or maybe just not thinking in the right direction, we haven't been able to do yet, right? So we have some of our monthly meets, we get close to 50 people, but there are some meets where we get 8 to 10 people, right? So while number is not a yardstick, I understand.
20 is the minimum now.
Yeah. No, even last month, we got 16 people in all, right? It was kind of good because it reminded me of the early days when things were more relaxed. But I think...
But the outdoors this is a tricky question. You don't want more
Yeah.
people also
that's what I was going to
who
come
are
to.
not aware. And when we got to 50, because on average we are 30 to 40.
No, but that's how many you guys can manage. What if you have bigger teams?
Coming to
more
that.
fun? Yeah.
So 30 to 50, we get a lot of heat from some parties for having that many people. Because 30 to 50 people running or walking on a trail does have some impact on the trail. Especially some forest sensitive trails. If you have a wide jeep track,
It's
no
fine, yeah.
problem.
Mm.
But there are some forest sensitive trails where 30, 40, 50 people walking back to back does make an impact on the trail.
What does that look like? Tell me what are those
So you
trails
have
like?
trail, just a single track where there's some grass and vegetation growing. If 50 people are walking, the trail will become wider
Mm.
and the vegetation will become less wild, So over time,
Yeah.
So there we get a lot of heat when they see big photo groups and all of that you're destroying the trail. You should not take so many people on the trail.
Okay.
And so we're trying to balance this party who is complaining about getting more people on the trail,
Yeah.
while ensuring that the awareness campaign of getting people to bring about this knowledge of about these trails, these green spaces is happening, but in a responsible way. So that if they mimic us in a way of making sure gear checks are done, safety protocol, GPX files, and leave no trace policy, they will also hopefully go back in there with same ethics. Now,
Yeah.
that is hard to follow through in India, but we see that happening at least in our community members who are expanding and building their own communities as an offshoot to Capital Trails, which is happening. Multiple communities have come off through Capital Trails, right, as offshoot, right? There's a women's only trail running club now, and then there is other parties that have started their own small with for their friends and all. So there are multiple offshoots happening, but hopefully with the same ethos. So while we want the club to grow, I think for me, the awareness aspect that they know that these things are there, I think is number one goal. How many people come is number two. I wish they come because they get to see it beyond just knowing about it.
Yeah.
But I think it has to be done in a smarter way and not in a mass way, which has happened in the Himalayas with a lot of mass outdoor
That,
companies.
and I was just going to say, even in the religious places, which are not actually well equipped to handle such massive crowds, and they are being crowded, and like it's happening on the Everest, like where और कहाँ की बात करें?
And generally, people still leave trash at all these places. We go to many places which are trashed. We support organizations that clean this trash also, right? So it's a sensitive matter, and it has to be taken slowly. And I think in that way, our slow growth has been a blessing in disguise, in a way, I feel. So there's positive and negative to this conversation is what I'm trying to add to this. It's not about growth. It's not about building a large road running club where they all come to Nehru Park and there are 100 people and you take group photos and everyone's running loops on road. I think that aspect is very different compared to this aspect. Here, one has to be conscious of the impact that we're making also, in addition to helping all the other things.
Yeah. And I read in, I think, your instructions somewhere, maybe the group meet or maybe a race instruction where if you are found littering on the trail, you'll be disqualified.
That all race organizers say, but no one really follows. If we see it, then for sure. It's done.
Okay. So let's talk about, races से पहले एक और चीज की बात कर लेते हैं. Capital Trails has a fee, right? I think most people know about that. But most people don't know about the fact that a large chunk of that fee actually goes to charity.
Right.
Please tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, so
we are not keeping the fee. We should say that. Not 1 rupee we keep. Okay?
Yeah, we don't.
In our pocket. So we should clearly say that.
Yeah. So while we always wanted to run it as a non-profit entity, but due to certain other logistics reasons, we don't have it registered as a non-profit yet. So we do the next best thing, which is utilize all the funds towards causes that we support, right? So whatever we get out of memberships, and so we also started a pay-as-you-go payment model for our monthly events, right? So anyone who joins the club, one run they get for free. And that could be their first run or the third run, whatever it is. One run they get for free, but for any other run that any other meet that you want to attend, you pay $500 as a fee. Unless you go for a membership, where the membership is 5,000 for one calendar year, for one year actually, not calendar, but it's on an annual anniversary basis. So what happens is whatever money we get, yes, we use those funds that money to fund some of our operations. Like we have a person who we've engaged with for social media and certain other expenses like website,
domain,
equipment, maybe we have to purchase, things like that. So that is one part of it. But whatever else is left, we use a large chunk of it goes towards
what charities do you support? Do you want to tell the audience?
So some of them, like we support Sunil Harsana, Mangar Eco Club. So he's a local from Mangar who has been doing a lot of work in educating kids in that area about the local flora and fauna. He's also an activist, so he does a lot of grassroots activism in that area. And he has a problem in one of his legs and he can't walk. So we have supported him in various ways, supported his activities as well as his treatment, surgeries and all that. So that we have done. We support this local organization called There Is No Earth Bee, who takes on the responsibility of cleaning up Sanjayvan every once in a while. So if you go...
Every weekend,
yeah. If you go to Sanjayvan over a weekend, chances are you will find a group of kids who are, doing their plogging bits, and that's part of this organization called There Is No Earth Bee. We've also supported the Hellrace Sports Foundation. Last year we did that. We contributed a significant chunk of money for their athlete development program.
Lovely.
That was it. And we've supported a bunch of others like the Blind
I Am
Cricket
Gurgaon.
Association, I Am Gurgaon, who is maintaining these.
Really bringing up Gurgaon in a very different way. They've really reclaimed a lot of the
I Am Gurgaon.
I
Am-
Am Gurgaon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Amazing group that started with the Aravali Biodiversity Park Gurgaon, which was an open pit mine. And today it's one of the densest native forests of Delhi NCR. And similarly, they've converted many other patches in Gurgaon, which has very little green cover, to amazing native forests. So we support them. They have huge corporate backing, but we want to give them because they're doing work for our forests and our trails. We're like, I know you guys have more money maybe, but we want to give a little bit from our end. We support New Delhi Nature Society, which protects a lot of the trees in Delhi. If you see a tree cut, you can call them and they'll help out and make some noise about it and go to the courts if needed. Similarly, lots of organizations and individuals that are working to protect or to save or clean up the spaces that we celebrate.
Yeah.
So we want to save that. And this is going beyond now Delhi NCR. As he mentioned, we're supporting the Hellrace Sports Foundation. We support Waste Warriors, who I think are doing the biggest cleanup work in the Himalayas, one of the biggest. So we support them on an annual basis. So there's lots of other things. We have a full report on our website under the blog section of what we do. We create annual reports now on who we're supporting, how much money was given, all of that.
Amazing.
So we're trying to make it more and more transparent, how much with accounting and everything.
Lovely. So I want to come to your FKT, but before that, let's talk about races. So Capital Trails races are also different from the regular races. Like I heard something along the lines of a treasure hunt. What are those things?
I mean, so the idea of doing a race in NCR, we always had that idea. We were still trying to figure out what could be that value add that we do, right? Because this was also a time when there was no proper trail race happening in NCR, right? I mean, there were trail races happening, but it was more like a weekend outing than actually celebrating the spirit of the outdoors, with certain...
So there were trail races happening, but on dirt tracks in Gurgaon. So there was Coach Ravinder organizing and then ATB guys organizing Trailathon and these events are happening. But Kavita had closed, paused that race, let's say. Bhatti mines had stopped. So that ultra feeling of being in the forest had sort of kind of paused.
The raw feeling of, being outdoors, being in the desert, suffering, that kind of a spirit of trail running.
Or adventure, I would say.
Adventure, I would say, not even trail running, right? Because these other races, they're great because they attract a lot of people. They encourage a lot of people to go outdoors, but still they're very curated because there will be aid stations.
Predictable
food,
in so many ways.
And the USP of Indian trail races is very different. Now they've gone into my trail race is 100 miles or 100K. The number of the distance is the driver or the challenge of the course. And people are priding themselves to be the DNF race and this and that, which I feel is unhealthy in the Indian trail running community. So the pull of these events, though they are trail, is a very different pull. They're not pulling because of adventure. They're not pulling because of exploration.
Can you do this?
Can you do this? Are you good enough? Can you do this? So it's all sort of machoism in trail running, which actually is not the healthy relationship with outdoors and what you want to do. So I think our concept also had this idea that...
But at the same time, like performance angle has to, why shouldn't it come in trail running as well? Like
there should be
there are
performance.
great trail races.
Absolutely.
So,
and we want talent to come up. But that talent should be celebrated and that talent will always be the 10% of the population. But what about the remaining 90% who are coming to explore and have fun and really change their mindset about trail running? Why are we vilifying those guys? We should celebrate them. That already we have such a tiny few, not even 1,000 trail runners in India. We should be like, if you're 1,000, let's make it 2,000, 5,000. Let's bring them all together and let's make a community rather than saying, you are not good enough, you're a DNF guy. No, that's not very nice. But we try to bring out that sense of adventure.
So while we were trying to figure out what that race could be, then we just looked, in our own experience of organizing these group runs, and we said, there's a race format right there. We do a short category and a long category. We enforce, or rather we encourage people to be self-sufficient, learn how to use Gaia, download GPX files and all that. why don't we convert the same format into a race, right? So the only difference being that Nakul and I are not going to be on the trail, right? We're going to send you out on your own, finish the trail. It will be a timed event and we'll give you certificates and all those things. So that's pretty much how it started, the race series. The first race we did was in 2023 September and turned to our favorite trail of NCR, which is Asola Bhatti, and created a nice 22 kilometer route for the long loop, and we had a 10K route for the short one. And same format as our group runs, right? There's a short loop and there's a long loop. Everyone is self-sufficient. No fanfare, no drama. There is not even a start line. We just say, okay, we're looking at our phones and we say, okay, race has started, and people just go. If someone has missed that, they miss their start.
It's the lowest impact, greenest
Yeah.
race that you can find not only in India, but anywhere in the world. So there's literally no impact barring the people driving.
Yeah.
Whatever carbon
Yeah.
is burned there.
Yeah.
And the fact that they are using gels, which are packets, and they'll be turning into trash.
Yeah.
Barring that, there is no impact. There are no banners.
Nothing.
There is nothing. It's literally people showing up with their own stuff and going back home with their own stuff and not getting lost on the way
We do
and
our-
having fun.
And
We
you
do
get a plant as a
And you
we
get a plant as a
as-
medal.
yeah.
as a medal.
We do our briefings on Zoom. I know a lot of people do it online, but yeah, we have embraced that. We don't have any printouts. Even the QR codes that, so we started doing this self-timed thing. So WebScorer, the app that many race organizers use to manage timing, while it supports the conventional timing chips and all that, it also has a means of timing called the QR code self-timing. So you basically, when you're designing the race on the WebScorer website, you say it's a self-timed race, you specify the checkpoints, and for every checkpoint, it gives you a QR code. Such a simple concept. So you can either take a printout of the code or you can just save it on your phone. So we say, hey, you know what? We don't want a carbon footprint, so just keep it on your phone. So what we do is, the way we designed the format was that, okay, we will have those checkpoints because we need the sanctity of timing and all that. It will be a timed race. People will get certificates. At every checkpoint, we'll place a volunteer. So it becomes an outing for them also. It becomes a learning experience for our volunteers as well of how to be on the organizing side of the race. And all you need to do is, when a runner crosses you, just show them the QR code. They will open up the app, scan the QR code, and their timing will be recorded, right? So even the timing is self-sufficient, self-timed race.
And our
Yeah.
volunteers cannot give them water or
Yeah.
any support.
Hmm.
If they do that, that's a end of race.
Yeah,
So
the only two
completely
things
self-supported.
Yeah.
like-
they can only give them two things. One is show them the QR code, and the second is give them blessings, right?
Mhm.
That's
So now
all.
we have three races.
Yeah.
One is at Asola, one is at Panikot, and one is called Lalkot. Right?
Yeah.
Asola is this very wild forest area of Delhi NCR. That's where most amount of leopards and wildlife is. And there is a wildlife sanctuary also there. And we operate on the outskirts of the wildlife sanctuary.
Okay.
There's an extension, you can call it a buffer zone or something. That's where we run. And that's where traditional races like Globe by Globe racers and all has happened. We take a very different route, which we created. Now it's been replicated, but we created our own route. And then we have Panikot, which is again another forest area. So the idea is also through races, bring out the different beautiful sections of Delhi NCR.
Yeah.
Maybe people are not coming for group meets. A lot of outstation people are coming for the races because they can't come for the meets maybe. A race gives them a finisher certificate, all of that. So the trip is worth it. So then we did Panikot, which goes through this beautiful old mining lake. There is another race that also crosses
So
that.
Redstone have
Redstone,
done.
Yeah.
You
So
also
Redstone-
done Redstone.
yeah.
We
So
did the same edition, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there is about 10-15% commonality, but still our route is quite unique and it's very beautiful route. Then the third is Lalkot, which is in the bang middle of Delhi.
Yeah. So with So-
Sanjay one, right?
Sanjay one.
with Lalkot, I mean, so we had already done two races, which was Asola and Panikot, and last year in around when Panikot got over, we went back to the drawing board, thinking that okay, we have to do one more race because Lalkot is not just a trail, but it is also significant historically for Delhi, right? So for people who don't know, this is the very first village of Delhi. The first city of Delhi was established in that area. So everyone must have.
It's not old Delhi.
Mm.
This is the
Yeah.
oldest part of Delhi.
So if you look at the history of Delhi, there are 7 cities of Delhi, right? So the old Delhi that you actually see is the newest city of. I mean, of course, New Delhi is the newest, but the old Delhi, Shahjahanabad, was just before that, right?
Okay.
So there have been cities like Rai Pithora was a very old city, Siri was a very old city, Tughlakabad was a very old city, and since the 10th or 11th century, there have been different dynasties who have ruled over Delhi and different cities that have been established in Delhi. So different capitals, I would say. So Lalkot was the very first one, right? It predates your Rai Pithora, predates Siri, predates all the Qutub Minars, predates Mehrauli. So it's that old. In fact, if you go to the Lalkot Fort inside Sanjay Van, there used to be a signboard that said ancient 11th century fort, right? So that's how old it is, and this is where fundamentally the concept of Delhi as a city started. So we knew that part. So then we thought that okay, let's yes, we have done 2 adventures, jungle adventures, speed trails, and all that. Let's try to do something new, because it's not just Sanjay Van, but there is also Mehrauli Archaeological Park. There is also Rai Pithora, which are historical sites. If you go to Mehrauli Archaeological Park, there are like 25 to 30 monuments just lying there. Not many people go there for their picnics. So we said, okay, fine, let's do something else. Let's turn this into a geocaching event. And geocaching is, I think it's a new age term for treasure hunt, where you have these strategically marked spots where you just have to go and you get something over there, right?
So typically what happens in geocaching, and whoever's listening can Google it, and we'd love to bring it to India in a bigger way, is basically around the world, there are these geocaching sites. So you'd, let's say, go to Seattle or New York City, right? Or any other international city, you go to the geocaching, and then there'll be coordinates. And in that coordinate, then you have to look around, where is this treasure? And normally there'll be a pencil box or an envelope or something, and that has items inside it. And you can either leave an item or take an item, so most people just leave a note or something. And so you find those items and then you leave it as it is.
Yep.
And you move to the next. So it's like a treasure hunt by discovering different parts of the city.
Yeah.
That's geocaching. So we kind of combine that geocaching in our own way through QR codes rather than individual pieces.
So we again turned to our own format, where we said, okay, there are checkpoints on our race. So instead of putting volunteers there, we'll just go and hide a QR code somewhere. Like we'll put it under a bench, or we'll tie it to a tree or somewhere.
Don't give them hints, yeah.
No, but that's what we communicate. It's not a hint really, but yeah, where that will be, that's subject to change. This year now June 22nd is when we are doing the second edition of this race. The checkpoints will be completely different from what we had last time. So for us also, it's a new experience. It's a new thing, because last year we were very confident that okay, Sanjay Van ke sare point cover kar liye humne. And now when we have to look for newer places of interest, which are not just random spots in the jungle, but also take people somewhere, right? Like the Lalkot Wall, for example. All the people who haven't been there, when they reach there, they don't realize it, but they're actually standing on one of the oldest buildings of Delhi, right? Dating back 1,000 years. So we want that element also to be there. So it's going to be an adventure for us also to figure out, okay, where do we go and hide those QR codes? So we did that, and we said that we won't put volunteers there. We'll just hide the codes. We'll only share the coordinates with people, right? So you create your own route. So when the race starts, that's the only time when everyone is together, right? One person might go left, one person might go right. And we had some very interesting strategies also last year when people came. Some people had done their research, looked up all the points on Google, tried to find the history behind those, said that, okay, let me look through old Strava files, let me check out Shetish's and Nakul's activities, if I can find some hints on how to get there and all that. People did that. Some people came with Google Maps driving directions. We had all that. Some people just winged it.
So this is a team race. This is
a team race. Yeah.
It's not like how the others are go do it yourself. This is a team race. Two people have to coordinate, work with each other, figuring out directions and find these treasures, and you have to find the shortest way, because some people did on the long run, some people did 16 and some people did 25.
Yeah.
Because you don't have a way to go. You have to figure it out. And I think it's a very amazing format.
Yeah.
I think it can be replicated just the way our self-sufficient races can be replicated.
Yeah.
So easy to do. It's easier for the organizer, fewer things to do, better for the environment. Similarly, we need more treasure hunt fun races. Why does everything have to be competitive in time? And we still have a time element, and you can do it well. But bring other aspects. I think for me, I was challenging Shitish with this model last year a little bit, because he was like, team nahi karna, bahut sab kuch ho jayega. Too much new stuff is happening.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, we'll do it. Don't worry. I think the idea is also to bring a little bit of creativity into the event organizing space, which pretty much, if you look at, there's a road running format.
Yeah.
And even in the trail running format, pretty much barring a different route that people are taking, the format and the
Different
thought process
routes
is the
and
same.
even distances are pretty much standard.
Everyone's going for UTMB points. Everyone's trying to qualify for this.
ITRA points,
100K, 100 mile, very simple format. Creativity is not happening. So we would like to encourage more organizers to think out of the box and maybe create
Yeah.
something. I think today the most creative races are the most celebrated. You have the backyard races. Laz is known for these, the Barkley Marathon.
So when you mentioned the QR codes, I was treasure hunt. I was just,
Yeah.
I think Barclay has that format, right? Like you have to.
You don't have a
book
QR code,
pages
but yeah,
of
there are
book pages,
pages of the
right?
book.
Yeah. But the idea is that he created something different.
Yeah.
And I think we've lost that. Not only in India, globally also we're losing that. So I think the idea of this is to bring in a sense of adventure,
Yeah.
and adventure brings creativity. So I think this is the bigger picture of what we're doing.
And we're still trying to, even within this, we're trying to figure out ITRA points and all that, right? So the Panikot and Asola routes, they give ITRA 1, they're part of the UTMB 20 index. We're trying to attract or, get that part also addressed, that, end of the day, it is a race, right? So it's not just about the fun. If you want to have fun, you come for the fun. If you want to come for the competition, you come for that. I know it's just one point. It's not going to do much, but it still has that element. So, and before, there is something exciting also brewing, but I would just like to add that, coming to the treasure hunt format, I think what came out of it was probably the most beautiful trail running moment or outdoors moment that I have witnessed. Rather, I would say second most beautiful. The most beautiful happened on 5th of April.
Yeah.
But on 26th June or whatever the date was last year when we had the Sanjay Van Lalkot race, it was so chaotic. It was chaotic to the point of being so beautiful, right? So both Nakul and I, and there was Sang, who's one of the best sports photographers and outdoor adventure photographers in the country. He volunteered to become part of the event by covering the,
Single-handedly covering all of Sanjeevan.
he covered the whole of Sanjeevan. He was
Single-handedly.
yeah. He was running with the runners. I had my bike there, cycle. He would take that, put it somewhere, go climb a hill. Then I would be there. Then he would give me the cycle. And during the whole thing, he would and he would capture all the key moments, right? He would capture every single thing that was happening. And as the whole thing was happening, we could see runners coming from all different angles, right? And everyone confused. And everyone looking at us, "Acha, kahan jana hai?" He said, "Tum figure out karo, kahan jana hai?" And someone would go there, land into a dead end, turn back. I saw 2 or 3 groups who were just moving in circles over a 10-meter radius, right? And it was so chaotic, and that's where the true,
Fun.
and that's where the true fun was. And it was that
So,
came up.
If this podcast is going before 22nd of June, grab a flight or take a train and come to Delhi, because this is by far going to be the most fun experience I can guarantee.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
We can speak to Sir Devendra if we can make this happen.
Yeah. And
Superb, yeah. And what happened on 5th of April?
we'll talk about that, but I think we should take this moment to also announce that there is an ultra in the works. While we have done the 3 races which follow the same 20K, 10K format, there is a race that we are planning, which will be our first Capital Trails Race Series Ultra. So
Don't reveal
more
anything,
details will
but
follow.
just tell
Yes.
us when is it happening?
Well, we are doing races every 3 months, and there's only one quarter or one period that is free, and
So
that's
winter.
December. That's winter. The best time to be out on the Delhi trails. Delhi ki Sardi and Delhi ka Ultra. That'll be, So more details will
And
be
this
revealed
is
soon.
a route that no one has ever done.
Yeah,
race
no race has happened there.
ever. Not
And-
yeah.
And needless to say, trail. All trail.
Yeah.
Trail, self-supported,
Self-supported, same ethos.
same ethos.
But
yeah.
so think of it this way: you start a 10K self-sufficient experience, you go to a 20, and we are also now trying to push. You're talking about performance. So the next challenge is: can we push people to be self-sufficient for 50K?
Yeah.
That's a much harder task than a 10 or 20.
Hmm.
10 or 20 can be done in 2 liters of water.
Yeah.
And Delhi is hot. Even
Yeah.
in winter, the trails get hot.
So on trails, what are you going to do? Like,
Yeah,
Where-
so
where are you gonna get
we're
water
also thinking, what is the compromise? Should we offer something, one something, maybe water, maybe.
or water
Right.
and like make that a treasure hunt sort of a
Yeah,
thing. Like
maybe that.
find water.
So we're trying to figure that solution out. But beyond that, we don't want to give any.
So the problem statement is quite clear. We want to do a self-supported, we want to organize a self-supported ultra. Right? Now, how we get to that is something which, we have the
we
next.
have to understand
6
the
months.
conditions and
Yeah.
all those things have to be factored. So the designing has started.
Yeah.
So we're in that works.
I love the work you guys are doing. Like it's
Thank you.
truly amazing. Yeah. I just want to ask you guys, do you guys also light a cigarette to start the race like Laz does?
No, we just say the race has started, guys.
So it's a fixed time,
your feet.
and so we don't delay our races. We
Hmm.
don't wait for VIPs or anything. So if 6:30 is the time, then 6:30 is the time.
Yeah.
We
मंत्री
because
जी का इंतजार नहीं होता है.
नहीं, sadly not.
Hmm.
You know, कभी ना कभी उनको
Hmm.
respect देनी पड़ेगी, but अभी नहीं.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I think generally it's bringing out creativity and helping people celebrate the trail experience
Yeah.
rather than putting them in a negative space or anything is the
Yeah.
bigger mission.
Beautiful. And as a part of this, you're also trying to bring the FKT culture in India, right? So you've made some routes where FKTs can be attempted by people. Sadly, not many people have attempted those because you guys are not out there. You're not marketing all of this much, right? So not many people know about it, which is why I really wanted to do this. At least some people will be reached through this, right? Because FKT sounds wonderful. I'm out of training. The moment I get back into training, the first thing I'm attempting is to break Nakul's FKT.
You should.
No,
You
I'm just
should
joking. But no, FKT sounds wonderful. You recently did a 95 kilometer, the loop that you talked about, right? How was that? Talk to us about that.
So before Nakul starts, that's what happened on 5th of April.
Hmm.
All right, Nakul.
Hmm.
Over to
Yeah,
you.
so we created this loop. It was originally 90, but because of some barriers in some forest area, it's now a 95 kilometer loop, which is good. More the merrier,
Yeah.
right? And the trail world, this is good.
Almost 100.
Almost 100.
Hmm.
I mean, we can make it 100, but this is the original route, so we want to keep it.
वो थोड़ा जबरदस्ती हो जाएगा.
हाँ, जबरदस्ती हो जाएगा. So, and no one had attempted. The 35 has been attempted multiple times. I've supported people to do it. So, multiple people have gone on it. I think 5+ now, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. Right? So, but this 90 plus has not been attempted. And it took us 3 years. It took a lot of hard work to create this, you know?
The route has been was published in 2022 March.
Yeah.
So it took us. I mean, for 3 years, no one had done that.
And so I'd been doing my own projects and he's been doing his own races and everything. And we never and we want to do it together because we took so many years to make it. So we're like, karna hai to saath mein hi karna hai. Right? So eventually nothing happened. And then we decided ki we're going to fix a date now. And we're just going to do it. Probably it's going to be a DNF because we haven't trained for it. It's 100 kilometers, but we have to try. This has to be tried now, right? That's how it started, right? So Chetan, me and him were supposed to start. Chetan just came back from EBC. He was trekking there. He led rather twice he did that. So he was pretty tired, you know, working at high altitude and all. So he said, yeah, I'll sit out. But one of our friends, Neetu, came along. Kshitij invited her. And so 3 of us started. And so amazing from the get-go. We started at 4:30. So we met at 4 a.m. It's night time. Because we wanted to cover some of it. It's April. It's pretty hot by then. Delhi's pretty hot by then. Not ideal, but then there was so much road running stuff happening. So we wanted to let that, because as a coach, I'm quite busy around that time. So April, we decided. And so we started at 4 a.m. and Sang, the photographer we mentioned, he showed up, you know, without knowing, you know, he just showed up.
Just to
I have
flag
to
us
take
off,
the
yeah.
starting photo.
Wow.
I'm like, yeah, such a privilege to have such an amazing photographer at the start. He recorded a little bit of us and documented that, you know, just community showing up, you know, without invite, just coming because they want to be part of this experience. So 3 of us left off. We ran into Sanjeevan night time. First time night time for me. I don't know if first time. for you.
I've done Sanjeevan in the
Yeah.
dark, but
It was so nice. We got onto Lal Kot. We could see the city from top at night in a forest in the
Like, this
middle of
sounds
Delhi.
like such an adventure.
Right? I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, this is so beautiful. I mean, I know I don't want to be here at night all the time because there are reptiles and animals in there, but it was a beautiful moment.
Yeah.
And getting out of there, then daylight coming through, you going through different forest trails. And April, fortunately, is also springtime in Asola, which means the flame of the forest, the Palash, is blooming. Beautiful forest vibes. I mean, just colorful to the extent. You should check out my Strava. There are a lot of photos and videos. The whole thing is on Instagram and on Strava as a story highlight. So then we went through Asola, and then Neetu had also just been injured, or she'd not trained or something. So she was fading. So we got her out of Asola towards Pali Road, this junction that comes, Asola Pali area. And then she parked it around 20K.
25.
Again, and amazing that another community member, Kshitij, had a night before sent a message on the group. Guys, we are doing this. if anyone wants to support, just drop me a message.
Hmm.
So he created a mini group where literally there was a gentleman who'd never met us, who'd never been on a Capital Trails meet, and he brought his pickup truck, opened the bed, made an aid station out of it.
There were
Wow.
bananas,
Chocolates and
chocolate,
bananas and water
biscuits.
and electrolyte. Like amazing.
Yeah, Vivek, if you're listening to this episode, full power to you.
Yeah.
man.
we never met.
Yeah.
So you come there and you're like, wow, all this is for us.
Yeah.
And so he took Neetu, he helped Neetu. Neetu carried on beyond that also. But basically, then Kshitij and I went forward and Neetu said, I'll do a little bit and come back.
Yeah.
So fair enough. We split our ways there. Then Kshitij and I went through this crusher zone, a little bit of Toothpick Cave Road, and we went into, then I had to go use the restroom, right? So then we went to Crash Pad, where we took a 10-minute pit stop, cold water they gave us. It's a climbing sort of cool space that they've made there. Used the restroom, came back out and carried on to Pani Coat, right?
Yeah, so
And-
another shout out there. If anyone is planning this FKT, it's a great place to plan a pit stop or an aid station, because that's a wonderful climbing community over there, and it's one of the hot spots where you have the Dhauj climbing scene. So they all, after they're climbing or before they're climbing, they party over there. It's a nice farm.
Oh, so
Yeah.
by this time you've already entered Faridabad.
We've
Yeah.
reached,
Yeah.
now this is about 35
This was around
kilometers.
35, 37.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
This was right at the mouth of Mangar Forest,
Right.
right? So yeah, that we did, and yeah.
So then we moved to Panikot Lake. And by that time, his training was catching up to him.
I had overshot my training by a good 10-12 kilometers, and there was still another 8 kilometers to go before I could reach the next pit stop, which was Damdama Lake.
But we were happy to get
Yeah.
to Panikot
Yeah.
because it's such a beautiful site, number one. And both of us took a while to get to Panikot when we were exploring. We covered a lot of the spaces. It was very nice. We sat down, we took some photos, we are not photo people, but we took some selfies, and then we got back, and then the next was Damdama Lake, which is halfway. So think of 45, 47, halfway, bang.
Yeah.
What a great spot, right?
Yeah.
Your halfway has water.
Halfway and-
There's a restaurant, hotel, you can get cold water. So great, like strategically, very nice.
And Damdama also has the biggest danger of doing an ultra. It lures you with food, it lures you with beer.
Ah.
There's
Parathas.
fresh
Oh,
parathas.
hard to get past
So
that.
exactly, and I fell prey to that, and I had already decided that भैया दमदमा से आगे मैं नहीं जा सकता. एक तो मेरी ट्रेनिंग पूरी हो चुकी है, इसके ज्यादा मेरे बस की नहीं है.
और
And
पराठे
there
भी
is-
हैं यहाँ पे.
And you've
Parathe
done an
hai,
ultra
beer
by
hai.
then.
Hmm?
You've done an ultra
I've
by
already
then.
done an ultra, so I had already done 48 kilometers, almost 50. I'll say I had done almost 50. Although Strava will say 48, but yeah, I was like, okay, yeah. Also at that stage, it was I think what 12 noon or something. It was getting
Yeah,
hotter.
it was getting hot. I was
Yeah.
following it live, so your story is like it was
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
really hot.
Kshitij was bonking a little bit, so he
Yeah.
was walking.
Yeah.
So then I took the opportunity, yaar, mujhe walk karna hai, so let me start Instagramming, which is a
Hmm.
big project
Yeah.
for me. I'm not a big
Yeah.
Instagram person.
Yeah.
So I started releasing stories on the go.
Yeah.
So that was happening sort of
And
live.
also, I think at that time, it also got a bit real because we had both crossed the halfway mark, and half ho gaya, so then there was no sense, quitting. Right, and I knew I had to quit. Right, मेरे बस की नहीं थी, and like Nakul was saying that okay, you come with me, we'll walk आराम से कर लेंगे. And I realized यार कि कर तो लेंगे, but walking another full marathon distance, walking another marathon distance, even more than that, it probably will jeopardize the possibility of finishing the FKT. And I really wanted Nakul to finish or someone to finish. It wasn't me. I knew it could not have been me, and Nakul being Nakul, he had the most chance from the get go of finishing that. मैंने कहा यार देख, तू अकेला जाएगा अपने टाइम पेस पे, अपने उसमें कर लेगा, मैं होऊंगा साथ में, तो I'll always be pulling you behind and all that. So let me stop. I'll see if I can see you towards Delhi, and I'll make you finish it in Delhi. So that was in my mind, and I knew that from that point, Damdama to Delhi, I had enough time to finish my food, finish my beers, take a cab, reach Vasant Kunj, Sanjayvan, take my car, go home, have a bath, and meet him somewhere near Sultangarhi.
I'm that slow.
Lovely.
I knew उतना टाइम तो होगा, मतलब ठीक है, I know Nakul is fast, but I knew उस टाइम पे कोई स्पीड नहीं काम आने वाली.
Distance is 95
Yeah.
in that
So-
heat.
So I was like, okay, fine. My plan B is that let me make sure that I'm there towards the end when Nakul is going to need support the most. And by then we had also, when I had reached out to the community, there were some wonderful people, Divya, Arjun, Ashwin, all part of Capital Trails and All In Running. again, full power to you guys. Yeah, full shout out. They had already set up, their little aid stations at key points. Neetu, who went back, she came back to Aravali Biodiversity, Gurgaon ka gate. Vivek came back again. So people who had done their role, done their job, played their part, they came back again to make sure that this is going on tracks. That was the kind of community involvement.
Listening to this only sounds so beautiful, and I can imagine when you're
Yeah.
when you're running and when you're so tired and all, and somebody showing up like this actually happening to you.
Exactly. It was like a full festival on the Capital Trails community
and
WhatsApp
so
group.
I ran self-sufficient till Damdama. We didn't take any support. Even though Vivek showed, I wanted to run self-sufficient as much as possible. So then at Damdama, I refilled all my water because I knew now it's 1 p.m. It's 37 to 40 degrees on the trail. It's super hot. And then I left him and then I got back. And this was a section we'd only done once because it's very far. So we'd only recceed and made this map, but no one had done it. So we're going back on that trail after 3 years.
Looks very
So
different.
I got lost a little bit. And by that time, by 45, I was feeling like a rock star. I'd put in so much sugar in me and I was flying, right? High on sugar. And so obviously I knew it's going to crash at some point, and I was going to hit the hardest, hottest trail of that section. Also navigating because we've not done it more than once. So then finally got to it, got hot to the point. Then I was using my bladder, which had water, to use the pipe to throw water on my arms and my neck. And within 3 to 5 minutes, it'd be totally dry. So this is all I was doing, running and cooling myself down. By 65, so I was supposed to meet Divya and Arjun, who were coordinating with me. And I told them, guys, I'm feeling good. I'll meet you further down, around 65K, rather than 60 or something. I was like, I'll meet you a little further down, closer to your home also. So we met them, and by that time, I was overheating. So 3-4 hours in direct sun, took a toll, and then I took a bigger stop. So they got me khichdi and 6 liters of cold water. Watermelon came later. So I took, since we had gone much slower in the first half because of multiple slow stops, then the idea was now to celebrate this and finish this. So performance was out of the window, which actually made it more enjoyable. So then I took my own stop. Normally I would have taken 2-3 minutes, taken the food, walked with it, or kept going, right? So then the competitive side of me parked itself, and then I was like, okay, now let's just finish it. Because we're getting such an energy from other people. So it became really other people community project. So then went through the corridor, the Chakarpur corridor, came out on that Sunset Boulevard, and suddenly Vivek, I didn't even know Vivek was shadowing me in the car. He's like, he was not trying to distract me because I was in my own rhythm. Then I finally, when he saw me take a break, I was looking around. That's when he saw me. I was like, what are you doing here? He's like, yeah, I just was following you. I thought I'll meet you here also. So Vivek came, then Neetu also joined without me knowing anything, right? So this was all happening. They want to come and support. And I felt so empowered, right? Ki yaar, ye dekho, what magic is happening here, Then, you watch all these movies and watermelon is, and you're like, yaar, India watermelon, summertime. So I told Vivek, yaar, get me a watermelon. So they got me a watermelon. I took a nice 10-minute stop and thoroughly enjoyed my watermelon. And then we went on. Neetu came for 2-3 kilometers from Aravali Biodiversity, Gurgaon now. We were about 75K into it, 75-80 maybe.
Yes, close to, no, less than that.
Yeah.
Around that much,
Yeah. So then this is where I really wanted to share the trail with you because that was the first project we did, connecting Gurgaon and Delhi through trail. So the closing part of this 95 is the first project we did of Capital Trails. Okay. Quite iconic, and I really wanted him to be here, there, because saath mein karte to maza aata, So then
it was a moment.
But these guys got there. So when I entered Delhi, these guys were waiting. So now more people had joined. So Kshitish was there, Ashwin had joined.
Sang came back.
Narendran came back. So all these people are showing up and you're like, what are you guys doing here? And by that time you're suffering a little bit, But I was like, okay, let's just finish it. Enter Vasant Vihar. Then the last 4K, 5K is on road. And by that time, and we had to beat the timings of the gate. We had to enter Vasant Vihar, and I think I got in 5-10 minutes before only. Yeah. So we just got in before it.
So while he was trying to get out of Sultangadi and that Rajokri forest area, I was going to Aravali Biodiversity ka gate, and I was trying to figure out my lines to the security guard. Ki sir, hum aisa kar rahe hain, घुसने दो, just in case there is a delay or something. But yeah, I think it all worked out. In that part, it worked out well. I think Nakul entered the gate 15 minutes before closing. Because I knew once he enters, exiting is not a problem. Only entry is going to be a problem because that's where the guard is and that's where they stop. So yeah, and by then I don't know how many watermelons he had eaten, and the gels ka sugar had worn down, so he was fueled on watermelons at that time.
Yeah. And then I told Ashwin, yeah, get me one more watermelon. Then these two, Ashwin and Kshitij, got me another water, which I ended up having 1K only before. So I got to the thing, I was like, yeah, I was running pretty low by that time because I stopped fueling. Heat took over, and generally the performance was there. I was like, chill out, yeah, don't stuff gels for no reason. So then I had a watermelon in my last 1K, and then I ran a little bit to the finish. And these guys were so sweet. They all parked. I'm not someone who is a celebratory sort of runner. You know, even sub 3 ho ya jo bhi ho, I'm like, touch kiya, chalo ghar chalo, ya, ho gaya. You know, apne liye, you happy for your own self. But these guys were there clapping, and I touched the gate, got me a cake. You know, all this like amazing stuff was happening. So yeah, lovely experience, and really brought out the true essence of this word community. We use this word lightly, and normally it's a networking thing or a social thing. But here, it's a supportive thing. You know, this FKT or this project was not really my run. It was really everyone's run. Everyone was involved from the start, from 4 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. or whatever time we finished. I don't remember. But it was like everyone involved. And I think everyone experienced the same amount of joy, or maybe probably more amount of joy than I did. That, I think, made it, to me, because I'm a self-sufficient runner, even the mountain projects I do, we try to do on our own. To me, it really opened my eyes that I think if I want to do long projects, I want to do with others rather than myself. There is some fun to doing myself, and that's the competitive side of me. But the other side, I think this supported FKT changed my mindset and our mindset. I think we all completely...
Absolutely, yeah. Like being part of that... I think the community really shone through on that day. I mean, it still kind of, you know,
No, I mean,
makes me
it
emotional.
just took me to the moment, like beautifully described as well. So, like you mentioned, the word community is just used so lightly, and usually it is used like connections and networking and all of that. मैं किसका क्या फायदा उठा सकता हूँ या मेरे कौन क्या काम आएगा. Now, look at the community in this way, where you've not like कि आपने किसी को कोई काम दिया है या you somebody you can bank upon. No, you're just doing your thing and see people come out voluntarily. Now that's a different sort of feel of community altogether. No one was like assigned or commissioned with anything. Like ये आप ये कर लो और मैं भरोसा कर रहा हूँ आप पे ना. It's just all out of heart and love, right?
There were also so many people who reached out whom, because we already had 4 or 5 people who were willing to help us out. We had to kind of, I mean, not say no, but we said, yaar, theek hai, abhi log ho gaye hain. But there was so much support that came outside of these 4-5 people also who helped. And it didn't take anything. Saturday we were attempting the FKT. Thursday I had sent a message. I was at work and we were both talking and we were like, yaar, a message to kar hi dete hain. Let's see who turns up. And that one message is all it took. And then people just started coming. We immediately formed a WhatsApp group. Immediately there was project management happening. अच्छा मैं यहाँ पे ये लेके आऊँगा, ये लेके आऊँगी. यहाँ पे मेरे एड स्टेशन में ये होगा. अच्छा, we'll be carrying so many things. This is the expected time. You know, expect plus minus 20 minutes, 30 minutes. But it was a beautiful experience.
Yeah, I mean, this whole conversation and wrapping with the FKT is just like it gives you a glimpse of what running is really all about. It's way more than just your performance and timing, right? That's an aspect you can chase, and that's your own personal journey. You can do that, but there's just so much out there to explore and be a part of.
And like, nowhere are we saying that. Nowhere are we saying that this is better than that or anything. It's just that this is a part which most people are missing on, right? And
this is the part that's not crowded.
Exactly.
Like the other one still has people, takers, right? This one still has very few takers.
Yeah. And this experience, I think, will definitely change people. I mean, this changed me, changed Nakul. I mean, and I would kind of go back and say the whole, you know, they say that, you know, there's a saying that trail running is more about community than road running. Nothing against road running. Obviously, there is community there also. Not denying that. But what happens in the trail running communities is something very different, right? And this was a prime example of that, which is why I said, you know, that chaos was the best thing till April 5th when we witnessed the most beautiful thing that we have ever seen in this scene.
Wonderful, gentlemen. Is there anything that you wanted to share and I haven't let you share yet?
I think the summary, if you look at this conversation, be it capital trails or something, is this idea of trying something different, be it trail or something else, FKT or something,
Or a race.
or
different format.
figuring out self-sufficiency, or figuring out, I think that exploratory aspect of personality will bring out other creative means. I think that is the fundamental of what Capital Trails represents. And we would like to get more people to look at fitness journeys or running journeys or just experiences from that angle rather than the performance or the more boxed sort of visions, you know. And I think the Indian running community as well as the fitness community deeply needs this. Deeply.
Yeah.
You know, and I think if we can bring that out through Capital Trails as a catalyst or through other people doing similar work, I think that job is done. Let people do fun things.
Yeah.
Why limit ourselves in certain ways?
Yeah.
I think if we can do that, we've fulfilled the true mission of Capital Trails.
Amen. Any parting words, sir?
Meet me outdoors.
We have a new t-shirt which says that.
That's the tagline.
We haven't done t-shirts so far because of the impact perspective.
Yes.
But we also feel now that the community is growing, there is a sense of ownership that comes when someone wears a
Yes.
certain piece of merchandise. But so we do it in limited stock once in a while. And people who want to own that piece of gear, we are doing that, you know. So we now have just launched literally 2 days back our first piece of gear. And so Meet Me Outdoors is the tagline. on
दिल्ली में
our
बोलते हैं ना तू बाहर मिल.
Right.
So yeah, so तू बाहर मिल मुझे.
Lovely. And before we go, tell people where they can find you.
Well, capitaltrails.in, capitaltrails.in. That's our website. We've moved all our operations online. So sign up there. You will get an email. You can join the WhatsApp community. So most of our communication, the community bits happen on WhatsApp. We have a community group. So everything is automated.
So you go to the website and there is a join the community, which you fill your form and then it'll send you a link to the WhatsApp group.
Yeah.
So you can pretty much access it and it'll give
Self-supported.
you a coupon code where your first run is free.
Oh, lovely.
So self-supported all the way, right? We actually, this is one of the problem statements that we solved sometime late last year.
All
there was-
credit to him. He's the techie.
I mean, the problem was his, the solution was ours. So, so that way, because Nakul used to follow up with everyone, get their details. We used to send very long forms कि अच्छा भर लो, भरने के बाद अच्छा WhatsApp पे add
Waiver
करो
and all that.
Waiver तो अब भी करते हैं. So we've kept those things, those checks and balances intact, but we kind of operationalized some very different processes. We moved everything online. So everything is available there. Instagram, it's the same handle, capitaltrails.in, where you can find us. You can leave us a message. We will again direct you back to the website only because that's where the point of entry is. You can become a member also there. So these are the two.
And all the things we've said, we have lovely reels done by professional videographers for our races and all. So you can see a little glimpse of what the races feel like,
Right.
or all of that. So that's where I think Instagram and all is quite nice. You have a catalog of things we've done.
Beautiful. Nakul Bhutta, Kshitish Purohit, it's been a pleasure.
Thanks,
Thanks.
Vipin.
Thanks
you
so much
doing
for
this.
having us.
Thank you.
Really
Thank you for
appreciate
doing
it.
this.
Yeah.